Okay. Yes, sir. And we back on a whole ass nigga. Hey man, what's up? What's up? What's going on, family? It's your favorite man, FuFu coming back. Um, yeah, life has been lifing, and I said I need to continue with my ritual. It is Hoodoo Heritage Month to all my hoodoos out there, all my people of the diaspora who, engage in the practices that our ancestors, carried with us. I'm finna be hood real quick, clean this, because, I just want some clear shit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. It just feels better, you dig? Yeah, man. How y'all doing, man? How's your heart doing? Hope you had a good day. Um, really just been, yeah, going through the seasons. When I started this around the beginning of the year, I would think it was like early summer. It was really me just documenting what has been another radical shift in my life, being home for some time, shifting into caretaker mode, helping my mom with some things. And yeah, it is the season is steadily transforming. The season's steadily going. Right now, I am in a position where yeah, I'm getting some legs, about myself again, right? Kind of back in a place that's seeing me, find some, financial doors opening, some professional doors opening, and yeah, being able to get back to some of the tangible ways that I love to show up. Um, for one, which is kind of the point of tonight and me talking or coming on tonight to really touch on what it means to walk into your destiny as I show up as a father, which is one of the most reciprocal relationships and reciprocal titles and roles that I think I got in my life right now. Like my daughter's really fucking cool, and I think it's dope for me just on some reflection shit real quick. How I catch myself not wanting to, not policing her self expression, how she expresses herself. I have a very like, alternative black girl. And I love that shit. And at the same time, I catch myself, being the radical militant black dad. Being like, hey man, hold up now. It's a little too much. It's a little too much of this now. It's a little too much now. I need some. I need some. I need some goddamn on me tata. Hey, to my, me and you will never part. I need some of that. But nah, she's just a blessing, man. Just so much of me in her, and so much of me in a place where I just appreciated popular culture, and I think it's dope that I'm her father, that I can give her the context that shows her and reflects back to her how beautiful she is, that she is popular culture. You don't gotta look elsewhere; you can look at yourself. And yeah, so it's been a lot of talk, on this season or these episodes for me about the valley and the lessons that the valley is has been teaching me about myself, about you know this time, my relationship, my emotions, um, and I think it's very easy to sit with you know once you once you've been as still as I've had to be for different seasons, it's easy. It's become easier for me to get back into a mode of archiving my emotions and my processes because it's like, okay, I'm trusting that these seasons aren't going to be plentiful moving forward, and I need to get the gems and the tools, and also um, the routine and the awareness that's in the moments where I may be strapped financially. However, what else do I got? What else do I have? because I know that there's going to be seasons where the money is abundant. However, I may not have as much time. I may not have as much freedom to, be still. I may have to really be intentional about my stillness, more intentional about my stillness, more intentional about how I'm taking care of myself. So it's been, I think, radical for me as things start to get some legs and I'm able to kind of walk a little further and gather myself some more, have some tangible resources. Just being able to think about and receive some, some insight as what it means to gather from what it means to be in the valley here and to be walking towards the mountaintop. We talk about the valley and the lessons that it means that brings, being in a place where, things aren't going how you desire. You're not seeing the the motion and wanting to get up out of there. A lot of times I'm realizing like in real time, if we can look at what a valley season has been or what it looks like for your life, right? If we thinking about motherfuckers say you got 75 summers, for me I'm gonna say 108, but if we talking about the mountaintop, there is a journey and a path and a there is a process up this mountainside that comes with the shit that it comes with. And it really got me thinking about like growing up. I played ball and one of my most dreaded workouts was doing bear crawls. Shout out to Coach Juan. Shout out to old National Mighty Mike Knights, man. My best friend, my brother Don. Um, you know, his dad, one of the best youth coaches on the South Side. We had some dynasty teams. But one of my most dreaded workouts after practice were these bear crawls that we would have to do up this steep ass. I feel like the hill was damn near 30, 40 yards. But it was this long ass, steep ass hill, bro. And we used to have the bear crawl like cone. He would set up cones up the hill, and we would have to bear crawl to the cone to cone. Sometimes we had to go straight up and down, and we had to bear crawl from cone to cone, left to right. Man, when I say folks don't understand that at 6 years old, you being conditioned to know that gravity, while gravity is pushing you down, you're taking everything you have with shoulder pads on, with helmets on, with big ass thigh pads and butt pads on to bear crawl on the ground up a hill and control your body while gravity is pushing you backwards. And many a young gent was made on them hills. And it really just had me thinking about this process and this journey towards, whatever your mountaintop is, if it's financial freedom, if it's, love, if it's, parenthood, if it's, you know, yeah, being able to do what you want when you want, being able to travel, if it's fame, whatever that mountaintop is, I think there's something to be said about the journey and the idea that there is a destination that outweighs the now and outweighs the constant walking towards the self actualization, the becoming, the progressive realization. Um, and I think that is something that in all of my archiving, I can slow down in this moment and appreciate the fact that I've realized that it's all been about the journey this entire time. Because as I'm slowing down with myself and realizing that as the seasons come and go, there are seasons where I've been walking up the mountainside, and because I found a place of, of rest and of comfort, I assumed that I was at a proverbial mountaintop, and I wasn't. I was still going up the mountainside. I was still on my way. And what a lot of times we don't realize is when we get to a place of rest and comfort to continue our journey, that it's very easy to assume that because things get easier, we're going up the mountain when we're actually making the descent. We may think we're going forward, but we're going in a descent down another side of the mountain. We're not actually going up nothing. It's easy to think that you're making progress because it gets easier because gravity is not pushing you when you're going down. It's actually working with you. You know what I'm saying? Shit get a little easier when you're going on a descent. But when you're going up towards like a top, a place of being able to see the big picture, being able to, you know, be aware of everything, be encompassing of it all. Like it's like, yeah, what does that even mean? I believe in mindfulness. I believe in um, realizing that we're always moving forward, we're always becoming. So I think there is a sense of peace that comes with knowing that in this moment is where my power is because this is the only moment that's guaranteed. This is the only moment I got. And I can honor the fact that I've archived this process and archived where I'm at because there are times where a voice will tell me that me showing up and me not having things perfect, me not having things in a certain polished way or in a way that I feel like will garner me certain views or certain shit. It's just like, nah, actually you're worthy of documenting and archiving your journey. You're worthy of that because at the end of the day, it's you realizing that as things get harder, it's because the you actually the incline is actually you actually getting closer to a little more. You see what I'm saying? And again, a little more from now from a wiser place, a place of rest. Because I still got so much more to do, so much further to go with myself, with my destiny, with who I'm here to, who I'm here, what I'm here to do, and who I'm here to be. And I had to really sit with what those bear crawls gave me. Like even now, I be on my Instagram, I be on my IG, like you recording my workouts, and I work out in my driveway. Our driveway is like it's a steep driveway, it's an incline, and so I be on that motherfucker doing bear crawls on the concrete because like one, I might be a little bit of a pain freak, you know what I'm saying, and also it just really is muscle memory to remind me that like I work with gravity. As gravity is pushing me back, I'm getting stronger and I'm actually getting conditioned to work against it. So going forward on flatland is actually like I'm running because I'm used to working against the odds. I'm used to having, you know, difficulty in my household. I'm used to, you know, having a pivot. I'm used to not having the most ideal safe conditions to create, to do, to live, to be safe enough, to be consistent enough to be a provider for myself, let alone for my daughter, just so realizing all these things and not having releasing a lot of shame around um, how I show up and just being proud of the fact that I'm showing up. You know, I think Spirit's back there talking some shit just dropped. Like, it's like, yeah, nigga, you talking that shit. But like, yeah, um, because there's something to be said about the blessings that come with what is perceived barriers. And those barriers is really like it's what really shows who you are, your character, your integrity. You can run and just be a fuck nigga and not care about the people who you chose to come into this world through. You chose to represent with these folk, right? Um, yeah, and it may not be now. It may not be in the next couple of years. It will make sense at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, will you be patient enough to actually see that through? If it takes 20 years, if it takes 40 years, if it takes 50 years, as long as you got a now, as long as you have a present moment and you still alive and you still on your path. And I think the path is the most important thing to focus on, not the destination, because there is really no destination. There's only a becoming, a transforming, a realization, a remembering, really. So as we go forward, we go backwards. Right? As we go backwards, we go forward. Um, it's taken me to come backwards to come home several times on some ancestral shit, on some ancestral wisdom to know that like if I don't, like yeah, my mama not gonna be alright. And to honor also the nudge from spirit to be like, alright, bro, enough is enough in this place. Reset. Even though I be bucking, I don't like the resets. I wish shit didn't work a certain way. And also all the resets have worked to save me and help me and work with me to get me together. So be thankful from spirit for that, you know. Because again, sometimes going backwards is going forwards. I done had to go backwards to be able to realize how to go up certain parts of the mountain. Every part ain't the same. You gotta go back to get some shit when you try to skip some steps. I wrote about that in a book called Scared of Success too. Yeah, I should go get that motherfucker. That's a good one. Um, so yeah, man. I'm I'm grateful. It's a blessing. Grateful to be a father. I'm grateful to be on my journey, on my path. Shit is not sweet here with the fam. We got some unexpected ass news. Had to show up and be family, and be back in caretaker mode again. So just understanding what it means to know and have the tools because you went back to go get some shit to realize how to move in this time, you know. And that's what I'm gonna do. Focus on my work, focus on my journey. I love y'all, man. I'm finna take my ass to sleep 'cause I'm tired and I had to come on. I love y'all. I'll let you next time, dog. Peace.